Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Mustang Mood Podcast. I'm your host, or rather, I'm 20% of your host, George Carson, and today is our volleyball season preview episode. So, welcome back. We made it through the summer, and it's finally starting to feel like Mustang sports again. Soccer's already started. Volleyball starts in 2 days. I'm very late getting this out. Life's been busy. I said I would have this out around the Suley Davis episode when that released, and that didn't happen. But here we are now, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. So, as you may have noticed, there's just one of us here today. This is something that I think we kind of discussed. We may want to start trying out just like shorter, single person episodes. I'm going to be doing a few of these with volleyball throughout the season. So you can let us know in the comments if you like this format or don't or whatever. This is kind of experimental, but we're gonna try to make it work. The main purpose of this video, in my mind, is to kind of give a primer for the SMU volleyball season. For those who don't know, SMU volleyball has been on the rise for a few years now, and this season are the 11th ranked team in the country coming into the season. So I think we're primed for a lot of big things. So kind of the way this will work. First, I'm gonna do a quick overview of the roster, just kind of who's new, who's gone from last year, and kind of just basic information about them. So if it's your first time watching SMU volleyball, you don't know any of the players, you don't know anything about any of the teams we're playing, this video is for you. So I'm going to go through the players first, and after that, I'm going to go through the schedule. I'm going to talk about kind of what are the big games on the schedule, what are kind of the not so big games, where you can watch them, and then I'm going to end with almost like a more in-depth preview of the opening game of the season, which is on Sunday. I'm recording this on the evening of Friday, August 21st. So ideally, this episode will be out tomorrow because the season starts Sunday at, I think, noon, when SMU hosts, or we don't host, SMU plays the defending champion, the Texas A&M Aggies, in Milwaukee at ABCA First Serve. So, all that said, let's get started. So this is going to be a real quick rundown of the roster. First is our outside hitters. At outside, we have Suley Davis, Krista Wilburn, Jaden Livings, and Laveria Pender. Suley Davis, if you want to know more about her, you can go check out our episode we just recorded with her. It came out probably 5 days ago, I think, 6 days ago, something like that. But she is a sophomore. She transferred from BYU, where she won Big 12 Freshman of the Year, local product out of Euless. All around awesome player. It was a great interview, so go check that out. We also have Krista Wilburn. She's a returner from last year. She's also a sophomore from Dripping Springs, Texas. During the red and blue scrimmage a couple weeks ago, she was getting a lot of reps with the blue team at outside hitters. So I think, at least until Jaden Livings comes back, she's going to be OH2 and in that starting lineup. Jaden Livings, of course, has been with SMU for a couple years, but she had a severe knee injury last year in the tournament against Florida. She's been rehabbing that all through the offseason. She did not play in the red and blue scrimmage, which was a couple weeks ago. I do not know when she's going to be back. They would not tell me. I guess they don't want that leaking out, but my understanding is that she'll be back sometime during the season. So we look forward to that. And then Laveria Pender's a freshman. She had some moments during the red and blue scrimmage, but I mean, you can tell she's still learning. I think she's going to be really good in a couple of years, but I don't believe she's a starter. Next is middle blocker. Our top middle blocker is Favor Anyanwu. She's a junior out of Prosper, another local product. She and Suley Davis are the two players on our team that are on the ABCA Player of the Year watch list. So those are kind of our two national superstars you can keep an eye out for. But she's an absolute menace at the net. The all-time blocks record in SMU history, single season, is I think 189, and I think that record is in severe danger from Faber Onyanwu. Last year, Faber had like 170 something. She missed it by about 10 or 12 to finish second all time, and I think this year the record's going down. I'm pretty confident. Uh, so yeah, Faber's middle blocker 1. MB2, I think, is going to be Natalia Newsom. She went kind of viral about a year ago in the volleyball world, or kind of even just the sports world, just because for her like 40-inch vertical or something nuts. I can't remember what the number is, but I think it would have placed like top 10 at the NBA Combine that year, like something crazy. So she's fun to watch just because she can get up there so high to whether to block or hit the ball. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of her. Our other two middle blockers, we have Ella Vanderweg. I apologize for messing that up, but I'll get it finished. But she's a freshman out of, where's she from? Manhattan Beach, California. Got to see a lot of her during the red and blue scrimmage. She had a really good serve. That kind of stuck out to me. So I think we'll see her as a serving sub. I don't know for certain, but that's the sense I get. I could see Coach Erger using her in that way. And our last middle blocker is Brooke Gilmore, bench option, who's been with the team a couple years now. And that rounds out that crew. At opposite, and I think there could be a little mix and match between outside hitter and opposite. I saw Jaden Livings was listed as opposite on the roster as well, like outside and opposite. But I think our starting opposite, I think, is likely going to be Gabby Placide. She's a Ole Miss transfer that came over this offseason. She's a senior, I think. Yes, she's a senior. And she also did not play the red versus blue game. She was there, but she didn't play. I don't know if she's hurt or not. I haven't heard anything one way or the other, but my understanding is that it's nothing too severe. I think she'll be a starter. To me, the wild card on this roster is our other opposite. I think I'm saying this right. Bojana Ambulia. She's a freshman out of Bosnia and Herzegovina. She played a little bit in the Turkish U16 league with Vakif Bank. And I thought during the scrimmage, I thought she looked a little shaky to start, but as the game progressed, she got better and better, and I thought she looked very good in the final set. So I think we could be seeing some of her throughout the season. At setter, we did have Ava Sarafa transfer in the first transfer window, but she actually transferred out in the second transfer window in the offseason. So she's now at UCLA. And also during that window, we had Ellie Moore transfer in from Kansas. So she's a sophomore. And our other setter is Hannah Beauford, who's a freshman. She is another local product, TAV product from Prosper. And as for who's going to start, I really don't know. This is kind of the one position that I think could go either way. If you made me guess, I think Hannah Beauford's going to start. I thought she looked a little better in the scrimmage, but again, it was just one game. It could be either one, but those are our two setters, Ellie Moore and Hannah Beauford. And then lastly is libero. We actually have a bunch of libero on the team, at least in terms of the roster. But our starting libero is going to be Victoria Harris, a transfer to South Carolina. She really impressed me at the red versus blue scrimmage. I thought she looked good. I think she's the real deal. I'm really excited about her for this upcoming season. Other liberos, Sarah Frazee is the team captain. She's been with the team a few years. I think we'll see some of her throughout the season. There's also Mia Silva, who gets some reps, and Yeah, Mia Silva's been on the team. She's a sophomore. She's been around. And then Victoria Shoup is a freshman this year. Uh, I don't know how much we'll see of her just because we have so much depth at that position. Uh, but yeah, so that's the roster. I think the starters are going to be Davis and Wilburn at outside. I think it's going to be Anyanwu and Newsom at middle. I think it's going to be Placide at opposite. I think it's going to be maybe. I think it's going to be Beaufort, but it could very well be Moore at center, and it's going to be Harris at libero. I think that's our starters that we'll see most games. I think when Jaden Livings comes back, that kind of creates a bit of a logjam at outside. And I don't know where Ambulia. I keep wanting to say Ambuliga. It's Ambulia. But Boyana Ambulia is going to fit in as well. So that's the team. And with that, let's move on to the schedule. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I think this is the hardest schedule in the country. This is nuts. So SMU is the 11th ranked team in the country. Right now on our schedule, we have guaranteed 10 games against top 25 teams, potentially more, potentially an 11th. Well, okay, let me just back up. We're number 11, right? Throughout the course of the season, we played number 2 Texas, number 3 Kentucky, number 4 Pittsburgh twice, number 5 Stanford, number 7 Louisville twice, number 8 Texas A&M, potentially number 9 Purdue if it falls that way in the Bahamas. So that right there is 8, possibly 9 games against top 10 opponents. And there's I think the season's about 30 games. So like a third of your games are against top 10 teams in the league, which is just nuts. If you include Spikes Under the Lights, the exhibition games, we would add number 10 Penn State to that list. And then if that falls right, we could be playing against number 1 Nebraska. And on top of those, we also play number 18 TCU and number 19 North Carolina. So this schedule is insane. The only good thing about it is that we don't have to play SMU because I'm not sure how that would go. But so in addition to that, we also play some teams that are getting votes like Miami. Miami was the top team in the receiving votes category on the top 25. Georgia Tech was up there as well, and we also play Rice and FSU, who both got a couple votes. So extremely tough schedule. The ACC is a very strong volleyball conference, and we have a crazy, brutal non-conference schedule with Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, Purdue, possibly, and then the Spikes Under the Lights teams as well. So with that, I'm going to kind of run down the schedule in order. So the opener is less than 48 hours from the time of this recording. In Milwaukee, we are playing the reigning champion, Texas A&M. And we'll get more into that later. I was going to end the video with a Texas A&M segment since that's our first game. But that's going to be a barn burner. Number 8, Texas A&M. On August 27th, so this next Thursday after this comes out, is the Spikes Under the Lights event. So what that is, Spikes Under the Lights, it's an event. It's a kind of a first of its kind event. It's a one-night tournament, volleyball tournament featuring Nebraska, Penn State, SMU, and Florida. And it takes place at Jerry World in Arlington. And first of all, these are exhibition matches. They do not count towards the regular season standings. And the games, instead of being the normal best 3 out of 5 sets like volleyball is, it's best 2 out of 3. And so SMU will play Penn State and Nebraska will play Florida. And the winners of those best 2 out of 3s will then play each other for like a cash NIL prize. There's like $1 million. They say there's $1 million purse for this event. In reality, each team gets $200,000 to be split amongst the players in NIL money, and then the extra $2,000, I think like 150,000 of it goes to the winner of the tournament, and 50,000 goes to the runner-up. So this is really just kind of a made-for-TV event at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium, if we're going to call it by its official name, and I'll be there. Jay and I got media passes, so we're excited about that next week. It should be a lot of fun. After that, on the August 29th, we're at Colorado State. August 30th, we're at where we play UC Davis, which is in Fort Collins. Both are pretty good teams in their respective conferences, but I think they're teams we can handle. September 2nd, this is a big one. SMU plays at number 18 TCU. I'm sure you already know my opinions if you've been watching the Mustang Mood. You know my opinions on TCU and how they canceled the Iron Skillet. So I'm going to take whatever Iron Skillet I can get. And now we're finally getting into volleyball. This is the first Iron Skillet volleyball game since 2021. And if you're curious, SMU does currently hold the skillet, if you will. I don't think there's actually a physical skillet for volleyball, but we've got the skillet, and we're going to be headed to Fort Worth on September 2nd to defend that. So that's a must-watch in my mind. A couple days after that, we play at San Diego, the San Diego Toreros, University of San Diego. They're the West Coast Conference champions, so I think they're a pretty good team in their kind of smaller conference. Next game, in my mind, is maybe the biggest game of the season. September 9th is our home opener against the Texas Longhorns, number two Texas Longhorns. For those that know me, I hate Texas. I grew up hating Texas, and I hope they always lose every game in every sport. And I've been waiting for SMU to play Texas in a sport that I am truly passionate about, and it's finally happening. So September 9th, Pack Moody. It's going to be a blast. Top team in the country, local team, it's going to be awesome. You got to be there. So mark that one on your calendars. After Texas, the team's going to the Bahamas. So there's a little mini tournament called the Paradise Invitational. You know how basketball does those 4-team tournaments where you play two of the teams. It's one of those, but for volleyball has a lot of those. And we're going to Nassau, Bahamas, to play. First, we're going to play Kentucky, number 3 Kentucky, who beat us last year, and is just they were national runner-up last year. They were SEC champions. They're really good. Actually, I've got the Kentucky-Wisconsin game on in the background, muted right now. Brooklyn DeLay's back. I think Cassie O'Brien's back. They're Molly Tuzzo, top libero in the country. Kentucky is really dang good. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us there. And the other teams at the Paradise Invitational are Purdue and Houston. Purdue beat us twice last year. We have a bone to pick with Purdue. Kenna Wallard's back. They're ranked what? They're ranked number 9 right now. So I would love to beat Kentucky and play Purdue again. Purdue's first opponent is Houston. Truthfully, I don't know who invited Houston. Houston is historically not been good. I don't want to jinx anything, but if we lose to Houston, we got big problems on the season. That's all I'll say. So then after the Paradise Invitational, we come back. Our next game is against Rice, but we're playing against Rice in Fort Worth at TCU's venue. It's another of those little mini tournaments, but we're only playing Rice in it because we already played TCU at this point. Yale is also at that tournament, and we play Yale 2 days later, but we play that one actually in Dallas. So Yale, I know, has historically been kind of the best volleyball team in the Ivy League. For whatever that's worth, I have no idea. But So yeah, we got Yale coming up. After that is conference play. We open conference play on the 25th against Stanford. Um, Stanford's ranked number 5 in the country. They have 9 national championships, I believe, which is the most all time in volleyball. So they're a blue blood in this sport, and we get to open conference play with them. Then it's Cal. You'll notice that the conference schedule is like you kind of get put in geographical pairs. Like we start with Stanford and Cal. Next is both of those are at home. Then we're at Syracuse and at Boston College. Uh, One note about the Boston College game, we play them in volleyball the same weekend we play them in football. So coordinate your BC hate accordingly. Uh, so just got to be efficient in those things. The week after that is another quirk of like the scheduling pairs. Our schedule partner is Pitt, number 4 Pitt. So we play Pitt. We play at Pitt on October 7th, and we play versus Pitt on October 11th. So we play the number 4 team in the country twice in 1 week. We do that every year. It's always a crazy week. Both of those games are on national TV. The first one is on the ACC network, and then that Sunday, the 11th, we're hosting Pitt at Moody Coliseum on ESPN. So that's another massive game. Olivia Babcock, Pitt's opposite, is consensus the best player in the country. So I think if we can stop her, we have a chance. And if we can't, I don't think we do. But it's always fun games against Pitt. It's always a fun challenge. After that is Miami and Florida State at home. Then that's on the 16th and 18th of October. October 23rd and 25th is at Clemson and at Georgia Tech. Clemson's and Georgia Tech's pretty decent. Like that should be a good game. Then on October 30th, it's at NC State, and on the 1st, it's at Wake, November 1st. Then the week after that, we come back home to play. On November 6th, we play North Carolina. North Carolina's a pretty good team. They beat us last year in a really tight win. That was a brutal loss. So we owe them. But they'll be Moody, and then 2 days after that we play Duke. I think Duke's the worst team in the conference. We're gonna beat Duke, and if we don't, I won't do anything if we don't. I'll just be really sad. But yeah, Duke finished 2-18 in conference play last year. They're tough. After that, we're at home. We play on November 13th. This is another massive game. November 13th on ESPNU, we play Louisville. Louisville is preseason ranked number 7. About an hour ago, I just watched them dismantle Texas A&M in their opening game of the season. Louisville's returning they're returning their entire starting lineup except Kara Cressy, who went pro, and they replaced her with Brooks Boltema from Kentucky. So that lineup is really good, top to bottom. We split with them 1-1 last year. I think. I know we beat them once. I think we lost the other one. So that would be a big game against Louisville, and then Notre Dame is middle of the pack, I'd say, the conference after that. Then we're on the road on the 20th and 22nd at Virginia Tech and at Virginia. I don't think we'll have too much trouble with either of them. I think Virginia Tech, well, actually, I don't know. There's kind of a mushy middle in the ACC that I kind of don't think about that often. And then the last 2 conference games, these are going to be repeat teams that we play twice this year. Both of them are pretty good. The first one is decent. That's versus Georgia Tech. So, like I said, Georgia Tech is like they're in receiving boats. They've historically been a pretty good team. It's a team we should beat, but it's a team that could beat us. So we play versus them on November 25th. And then November 28th, we play Louisville again. This time we play them in Louisville. So that's our second game against number 7 Louisville. So that's our conference schedule. The ACC does not play a conference tournament like the SEC has done, and I think the Big Ten is starting it this year as well. This is their first year doing a tournament. I don't know what the Big 12 does, but we do not have a conference tournament. We just have kind of extra conference games to compensate, and that's the end of the regular season. The next day, November 29th, is Selection Sunday, the NCAA Tournament, which is basically just March Madness with volleyball, and it takes place in December. It's awesome, although there aren't as many upsets as in March Madness. It's a little more kind of like there's not as many like seed upsets really. But yeah, the tournament starts on December 3rd. The semis are December 17th, and the national championship is December 20th in San Antonio, Texas, at the Alamo Dome, which should be a lot of fun. So that's the schedule. Quick recap of the big ones. So the opener against A&M this weekend is massive. Spikes on the lights later this week is kind of a unique thing. September 2nd at TCU. Got to keep the hate alive. The football won't do it. So September 9th against Texas. Pack Moody. That's the big home game. We got to pack Moody for that. It's going to be so awesome. Then the 12th and 13th is Paradise Invitational, so we're going to play Kentucky and one of either Purdue or Houston. Kentucky's obviously really good. Purdue's really good. So those are big games. And then in conference, the conference opener against Stanford, the back-to-back games against Pitt, the revenge game against North Carolina, and then the 2 games against Louisville. I'd say those are our big conference games. So if you only watch a few games this season, watch those. And then lastly, I've already been talking for 27 minutes. I was trying to keep this short, but I'm not very good at that when it comes to yapping about sports. So last couple minutes, I want to kind of focus in on this Texas A&M game that's in this weekend. So Texas A&M, of course, is the reigning national champion. They were a 3 seed in the tournament that had a crazy run. They reverse swept Louisville, and then they had the most insane volleyball game I've ever seen when they upset Nebraska. Then they beat Pitt in the Final Four. Classic Pitt, losing the Final Four. And then they swept Kentucky in the final. So it was a dominant run from start to finish. But what people don't remember is that SMU and A&M played last year in the regular season, and A&M got swept, and it was ugly. SMU destroyed them. So, I mean, maybe they don't feel too bad since they have the trophy in the case, but they'll be out for revenge. We'll be looking to score some points against the reigning champ. And the other thing about A&M is that their national championship team from last year was almost entirely seniors, like Logan Lednicki, Ifena Kasapala, and Maddie Walk. They're all gone. They've all gone pro. The only returner is Kendall Stowers. And when I was watching the game earlier today against Louisville, apparently she got injured in warm-ups against Louisville and did not play. And Texas A&M lost 3-1 to Louisville just now. I do not know if she will be available for A&M's second game of the season, which is against us. It's our first game on Sunday, but that's something to keep an eye on. That A&M, almost their whole national championship team is gone, and their one player is still there, maybe hurt. That said, they've brought in a lot of transfers that I know are impactful. Natalie Ring was a transfer from Marquette. She had a pretty good game against Louisville, so I think she'll be a threat. And yeah, some teams play 2 games at ABCA for serve. Some play 1. A&M plays 2. SMU just plays the 1. That's our Sunday game against A&M. That game is on ESPN2 at I don't remember the time. It's either I think it's like 12 or 12:30. But yeah, so that's the volleyball season preview. I don't know if y'all like this kind of informational, single or solo episode like this. It's kind of a new thing we're trying. I'm just a huge volleyball fan personally, so I think I'll definitely be putting on more of these for volleyball. But maybe if enough people like it, we'll start expanding this to kind of give other sports their due besides just kind of the big football, which is, obviously we're gonna make a lot of football videos this fall, and then basketball as well. So we are gonna be recording some soccer episodes. We got a couple. It's either gonna be 2 women's soccer episodes or 1 episode with 2 players. I don't think we've quite figured that out yet, but we're gonna be recording that next week, so that should come out maybe the following Monday. And yeah, so I'm just excited. It's summer's over. It's fall. It's volleyball is kind of the market for me. Like it's fall. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for listening, and pony up.